Hello. I guess this is a tutorial. Yeah, tutorial. I don't know. What would you call this? Anyway, a long time ago. Must have been about 1994. I took my first step into the heady world of guitar synthesis. My first guitar synthesizer was the Roland GR1, and from there I've had many Roland guitar synth products, even the VG line of things too. So I like to think I know. Think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to guitar synthesizers. So yeah, GR1, GR33, that was good. GR55, not so good, because it's completely incompatible with my Godin guitars. Doesn't like the pickups, doesn't like the RMC pickups. And I only found that out when an engineer wrote a letter to someone saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, it's not actually compatible with those pickups." But we didn't bother telling anyone. And that alone caused me to sell my Roland gear. Seriously, it was like I felt betrayed by them. Also, the lack of updates, the lack of support, operating systems change, no drivers available, gets boring. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go software. I'm going to do this software. We're going to do audio to MIDI. And I came across this plugin by a company called Jam Origin. And it's called MIDI Guitar 2. It is what it says. It's a plugin that sits in your DAW, though I think there's a standalone version, but I tend to use it in my DAW, digital audio workstation. And what you do is you put it in your strip. It's really good. You put it in your strip, you make the strip active, and then any synth that's behind the plugin in the strip is triggered by the guitar. And it can be any guitar. You don't need a fancy pickup. It's just the guitar input in. There's also a bass version as well. I've not actually tried that because I don't tend to use bass with MIDI, so I've not used that. But there is a bass version as well. But I use this, and while it's I tend to use MIDI guitar for very slow kind of ambient pieces. It's not diddly. Again, the tracking of it, I don't know, I've not really looked into. I'm more interested in being able to trigger bits of synth with my guitar to make floaty, ethereal stuff, rather than playing lead lines and fast solos. But it's, for what it is, I think it's about £100. It does the job. It does the job simply and effectively, and you can tweak it and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little looky at the plugin. I will be wearing the headphones of shame, for feedback is our enemy, and we'll be seeing how it works. So here we are inside Logic Pro, and I've got the MIDI Guitar 2 VST plugin open so we can see it. You have all the options that you need. You can actually load synth plugins into MIDI Guitar 2, but I'm not using it like that. I'm going to show you how I use it. I use it by putting it in its own channel strip, and then anything after that channel strip is triggered. Any software instrument after that channel strip is triggered. But yeah, you've got your basic tracking information, what tuning you want, whether you want it to be polyphonic or monophonic. You can allow pitch bends or legato or aftertouch. I don't actually need that on. And you can adjust the sensitivity, noise gate, curve. And add your own MIDI effects and whatnot. It's a very deep plugin. I mean, there's lots of depth to it, but I use it as rather superficially on a different level. So anyway, so this is it. It's on its own plugin. It's on its own channel strip. The plugin is, and after that, in its own bus, I've got Triton. software instrument, which is from Korg, which is again, it's an emulation of an old Triton synthesizer. It's one of my favourites, and so we can trigger it. Good, isn't it? And if you want something a bit more, so you want a lead. Where's the good lead synths gone? Express lead was one of my favourites. And you can use any plugin in the sequence, you just need to drop them in that channel strip. For example, this is Arturia's Mellotron plugin. Oh, that gets high. I mean, that's pretty neat, isn't it? You can play. That's not bad if you want if you want that authentic Mellotron sound. And it sounds really good with the Contact Session Strings library. And if you want grand piano, we've got grand piano. Again, there's a few triggering things, but again, you can adjust the sensitivity. That's my bad playing, and not necessarily the app itself. So again, you have to adjust your playing style like you do with any guitar synth. You can even play the drums, but I don't know if this works or not. So there you have it. It's a really useful plugin. It costs about £100. It's a lot cheaper than having a hardware guitar synth. I mean, again, I think the GR55 is about £500 at the moment. And the good thing about it is it opens up guitar MIDI to your DAW in a really easy way. Again, it's tweakable. It's a lot more tweakable, the sensitivity, than a hardware guitar synth is. Again, some of those you know, you've got to have the right, you've got to actually have like a MIDI pickup. This you don't, it's audio, you know, guitar audio straight in, converted to MIDI pitch, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I mean, it's a solution. It might not be for everyone, but it works for me. And again, if you're dabbling or you don't really want, you know, to invest in guitar synthesizer hardware, it is a good way in. And I think there's a demo on the site that you can try before you buy. So again, I'm not getting paid for this. I just think it solves my problem. It's a solution to my problem. And again, because it works for me, I'm telling you about it. I think it's really cool. And again, what I like about it is you can have it in your channel strip, and you can have a different synths lined up in the channel strip, and you can switch just by selecting from one to another. You know, so that's, yeah, it's just really clever. It's almost seamless. It's like having, again, I've got a lot of VST synth plugins to play with, so it's like having hundreds of synthesizers at my disposal that could be triggered by guitar, and I wouldn't have had that flexibility. Again, you can output MIDI from the GR guitar synths, but I was never really satisfied with that. It never seemed to work that well. But anyway, it's just my perspective. Your results may vary. Hopefully this video has been some use to you. My name's been Darren Rock. I've been talking about MIDI Guitar 2, which I think is really useful, and hopefully you'll find it useful too. The light here keeps varying from bright to dark, so I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Ta-da!